All right, everyone. We start off today in the last couple of hours, waking up right at the right time. Nikki Haley is going to be announcing that she's dropping out of the GOP race. Trump is now running unopposed. She lost pretty much everything other than the state of Vermont, which happens to be the state that I am in. I'll be doing a Super Tuesday analysis separately, and I'll try to explain why that happened, because it's fairly obvious. But Trump otherwise ran the field. And now Nikki Haley is going to drop out. She's going to be giving a presser in Charleston, South Carolina at some point this morning. It is not immediately clear that she plans to endorse Donald Trump. So much for party unity, by the way. That was a big part of her statements. Well, we need to unify the Republican Party, of course, under Nikki Haley's particular neoconservative banner. It looks like she might be sour grapes, and she might proceed to, I don't know, maybe she'll endorse Joe Biden. It seems like half of her voters were Democrats. Again, that will play into the analysis of the Vermont results. My apologies, but anyway, it's a great Super Tuesday result. Nikki Haley's gone. There's no longer any opposition in the Republican or Democratic fields. Joe Biden ran the deck. Donald Trump ran the deck. We now have our matchup officially. There's nobody else in the race. Yes, I know, Marianne Williamson still exists. Okay, when you pull in 2 or 3% of the vote in a state, okay, that's fine. Some people decided that you were the better candidate, the better choice, but it doesn't really mean anything for pragmatic political reasons. It has no impact of any kind. Just like Nikki Haley didn't have any impact. When we analyze that, in some of these states, Trump is running up 8-1, like in Alaska, which did not admittedly have high turnout, but we'll be talking about that later. Nikki Haley's dropping out because there's no path forward for her. I would say this, though. I was slightly concerned that Nikki Haley had gone around the bend so far that she actually wouldn't get the memo, and that despite losing all but one of the states on Super Tuesday and Donald Trump getting virtually all of the delegates, because a lot of those races are winner-take-all, like California and Alaska, that she would actually still be crazy enough to stay in, with literally no numismatic path forward to victory, like Trump croaks tomorrow. You win every additional race, and you still manage not to actually clinch enough delegates. You lose to a corpse. That's what would have happened had she stayed in, because she doesn't really have any support in the party, nor among independent voters. She has support among Democrats that are trolling, again, as we will talk about later. At least she's dropping out, so for the first time we have something to give Nikki Haley credit for. You're not quite as batshit as some people suspected that you may be. You actually do apparently have some self-awareness. That's pretty much all we can say for her. Her campaign has been a disaster from day one. It was completely astroturfed. The legacy media and a bunch of Democratic voters were the only people stumping for her. Very few actual Republicans supported her. Virtually no independent voters supported her. What happened is that Joe Biden is a shoo-in for the nomination on the Democratic Party side. Again, as we will explain for Vermont later. We knew this. Everyone knows this. He's the incumbent. He doesn't have any major opponents. He never did. RFK Jr. is the closest you got to someone with some viability, and he decided to launch an independent campaign, which will hurt Joe Biden in the general election much more than it hurts Trump, by the way. People were worried that wouldn't be the case. I told them to fucking calm down. Haley was always going to lose. The only person in the GOP field who had a moment of viability against Donald Trump was Ron DeSantis, not Nikki Haley. DeSantis, at his high point, was within 10 points of Donald Trump's polling average. Then Trump got indicted and the rest was history, basically. The GOP decided, okay, if he's being persecuted, quite clearly he's our man. Republicans like to be persecuted. They also seem to like somebody who is trying their best to actually get away from the Bushite era. And that wasn't Nikki Haley. The problem is that Nikki Haley represents a retro throwback in politics to about the 2005 period. And people don't want that anymore. They would rather have, it seems, a soft reset to like the Morning in America period again, early 80s, like under Ronald Reagan, which is what Trump represents. It's not anything extreme. MSNBC's losing their shit right now, but, you know, you can just ignore them. If Joy Reid says it, then the opposite is probably true. Same with Paul Krugman on economic advice. Remember his great one there about the Great Depression that was coming if Donald Trump were elected, and the soaring economy that would happen if Biden was elected. Well, it turns out that the opposite of what Paul Krugman thinks is usually right. Haley represents sort of that neocon consensus, which would have made sense if she were running 20 years ago. Hell, if she were running in the 2012 election or the 2008 election or something, she probably would be nominee and she'd probably have ended up winning. And she must be really, really sad about that. She decided to do other things. And now that period of viability for neocons is fundamentally over. This is the death of the neocons within the Republican Party. With the departure of McConnell as the Senate leader, the major loss by Nikki Haley, Kevin McCarthy's ouster, etc., etc., with all of these things, what we're seeing is the old party burning away. And that's a good thing, not a bad thing, by the way. Oh my God, we're losing people with decades and decades of experience, all these principled leaders, right, within the Republican Party. No. It's good that they're gone. Because then hopefully the GOP will be reformed in a populistic image, so you'll get less war, you'll get more tax relief for the working and middle class, you'll get less of the corporatistic bullshit, and stand for the First Amendment and actually attempt to win elections. Well, I mean, Nikki Haley's a loser. She won exactly one state in the end. Again, that's going to be the news of the day for me. But breaking news, Nikki Haley does intend to drop out. This is breaking within the last couple of hours. I'm not sure exactly when she's holding her presser. She's not expected to immediately endorse Donald Trump. So she's taking her toys and going home and stomping her feet and being a little sourpuss potentially. She does endorse Trump. That'll be one on her. Okay, despite people's expectations, you did the right thing. You actually honored your loyalty pledge and your ideas about party unity, for what little party unity is worth, because fuck partisan politics. But it's not immediately clear she's going to do that. I've got a Nikki Haley thing right here. Nikki Haley for president. Countdown to the White House. The only candidate, by the way, that I ever got any literature from. Her ground game in the New England area was definitely top-notch. I will give her that, but it was also overbearing, and I got tired of seeing her fucking face on TV every goddamn day. That's about all. Peace out.